All right, now for NHL Newfie of the Week. It's pretty self-explanatory, but for the new listeners, NHL Newfie of the Week is a segment hosted by a good friend, Caleb Smith, that focuses on one Newfoundlander that played in the NHL. Um, all right, I guess now that everybody's on the same page, Caleb, how you doing?
Oh, I'm great, man. Great to be back.
Perfect. Watching any preseason?
I actually watched a bit of the Blackhawks Blues game, and man, we beat them 5-1. And what's his name? Colton Dock, Kirby Dock's little brother. He scored his
Yeah.
first preseason goal. So
Oh,
yeah, the future's looking bright, man.
that's wicked, man.
He's a bust. Picked him because of his last name. Don't lie to
Yeah.
Yeah.
yourself.
Same reason they traded for Jones.
Yeah.
Well, they broke up the famous Sakura brothers, so I don't know. Maybe they're not going for that.
Yeah. The city of brotherhood love, or brotherly love, or whatever that is. Anyway, Caleb, tell us who is the NHL Newfie of the Week?
Hey, this week our newfie is Jason Morgan from St. John's, the capital of Newfoundland, of course. St. John's obviously produces the most of our NHL players that come from the province. So he's the first one that I'm going to focus on from St. John's. He was drafted 118th overall in the 95 NHL draft by the Los Angeles Kings. Jason spent his most of his career in the minors, but he did play a total of 44 games in the NHL for five different teams. So this guy's he's been around the block, and I'll try and give you a highlight of where he's been. This dude's been everywhere. In 96, 97, he finally made his LA Kings debut. He played in Kitchener in the OHL before he got drafted. He spent one more year there in the OHL before he made his debut. But finally in 97, yeah, he played for the Kings and he played 3 games in the season. He went pointless, but then in the next season, 97, 98, he finally tallied his first goal for the Kings. So I had a boy, Jason Morgan.
Let's go,
Wicked.
Jason.
Yeah. But from all the way from 97 to 98 until 03, 04, he spent his time in the minors bouncing back between the ECHL, IHL, and AHL. So I'm not going to go into all the teams he played for because we'll be here for 10 years, but I'll just kind of brief by the leagues that he played in. But yeah, after being in minors forever in 03, 04, he played for the Calgary Flames. He played 13 games and he got 2 assists.
Go.
So yeah, he got his first assist with the Flames.
Wow.
Then also later on that season, he got traded to the Predators and he played 6 games and got another 2 assists with the Predators. Then finally, this is kind of the reason why I picked the new for the week, Jason Morgan. In 0506, he played for the Chicago Blackhawks. He played 7 games and he scored 1 goal and 1 assist.
Wow.
So
So
he's in the record books for Chicago. So
yeah.
he got a place in my heart.
Yeah.
Point
Yeah.
tally's going up quick.
So this guy was a pure playmaker if he was coming in and getting 2 assists. I mean, he doesn't even get any goals. This guy just gives apples all day.
Yeah. He would end his NHL career the following season in Minnesota. So you might like him too, Steven.
Yeah, I guess. I never heard of
Oh
this
my
guy,
God,
but
James, come to Detroit.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Jason, man. Jason, don't disrespect
Jason.
Jason
Jason,
like
come to
that.
Detroit, buddy.
Sure, man.
I guess, well, I wouldn't recognize him in Minnesota because Minnesota is kind of the kings of bringing in guys for 5 games and them get 1 point and then
Well,
they'll never play in the NHL again. So,
it's funny you say that because he played 4 games for Minnesota in 06, 07, and he went pointless.
exactly. That's what Minnesota does, man. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, somebody's injured. We got a top 10 draft pick. Now we're going to leave him in the minors. Just bring up some guy who's been in the ECHL for 10 years. He'll play a couple games and send him on his way. So that's what
State
they're
of
like.
hockey, buddy. State of hockey.
Yeah, state of hockey. Yeah. I don't know about that.
The
Everybody
year
gets a
after,
chance in Minnesota. Sorry, Caleb, what are you saying?
yeah, the year after he was in Minnesota, after he finally left the NHL for good, he spent one more season in the AHL with the Houston Aeros. Then he went over to Europe and he played in the Swedish league. He played 1 season. Then I'm just gonna really give a brief example here of where he's been. He played 1 season in the Swedish league. Then he came back and played a season in the AHL. Then he went and played a season in the Austrian league. Then he went and played a season in the Norwegian league. And
Wow.
then at the end of his career, he spent 3 seasons in the ECHL and the CHL. That's obviously not the Canadian Hockey League. That was the defunct Central Hockey League, just another semi-pro, senior league.
Yeah.
And he was actually the captain of the Stockton Thunder in his final
Really?
year in the
That's
ECHL. Yeah.
Oh, wicked.
Wow. I mean,
And
that's an interesting career.
Yeah, it is.
and it's actually cool. In his final 2 years of pro hockey in the Central Hockey League, he played 66 games and got 46 points in his second last season. And his last season of pro hockey, he played 55 games and scored 39 points.
Not
Wow.
bad at all.
So he's
No.
How old
pretty
was
good
he at
minor
this
leaguer,
point?
man. I'm not sure how old he was, but I'd say he was up there because he's been playing forever, right?
I mean,
Yeah,
for a guy to
30s
get
or
drafted in
40s.
95, I mean, and play that long, I mean, it must be just a great career anyways, to be able to travel across Europe and stuff and play, man. That's interesting. That's more interesting than playing in the NHL as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned.
You get all that experience. You get to take in all the scenery too. I mean, he played in Norway and Austria. Like, that's awesome.
That's
Yeah.
sick. Caleb, do you know
But,
if he was successful in Europe? Do you know if he scored many points there, or if he just
honestly,
bounced around?
I should have took note of that. I wish you would. I knew you were going to ask that. Sorry, I can't answer, but I'd
That's
say
all
he
right.
was the same as he
Folks
was
at
in the
home,
minor
stay
league.
tuned for the Instagram post. We'll get these important stats out there.
He probably had the same point totals as he did in the minors, kind of. He
Yeah,
might have
that's
lit
what
up,
They
might
seem
lit
like
up the
comparable
Norwegian
leagues.
league, though. Doesn't take
um,
much to light up in the Norwegian league, I don't think.
He went over there. He was the next Matt Zuccarello.
Yeah. Matt Zuccarello was watching his games as a kid, man. Like, this dude's on.
He was the Newfoundland Matt
yeah,
Zuccarello.
watching New. I bet Matt Zuccarello looks up to Jason Morgan for tearing up Norwegian league
Yeah.
that one season.
Yeah.
But
Jeez,
Caleb,
it
that's
actually
interesting
doesn't-
because you only hear about Terry Ryan going in the 95 draft as the Newfoundlander. You don't hear about Jason Morgan at all.
Yeah, man.
So
That's
that's
true.
kind of cool that you brought that up, because as soon as I heard 95, I even had to Google it because I was pretty sure that's the year Ryan was drafted.
Yeah, I didn't realize that too. That they both went the
they
same
must
year.
have. Yeah, they must have debuted the same year too, because I'm pretty sure Ryan got his shot in 97 as well.
Okay, sweet. With the Habs, obviously.
Yeah.
Where did he play juniors? Was it in
Kitchener
Canadian
Rangers
Hockey
in the OHL.
Kitchener Rangers? Oh, yeah. So he must have just moved. He must have moved out from Newfoundland when he was like 13 or 14, I guess.
Yeah, or maybe in midgets. Like, instead of playing AAA, he just went and played junior in the.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. A lot of people from here usually do that, leaving their grade 10 year and go over.
Yeah, man.
That's insane.
But I was gonna say, that doesn't stop there for Jason Morgan. He's actually still on the go. He's got a pretty good coaching career. He's coached in. I'm just gonna list the countries that he's coached in: Hungary, Poland, Denmark, Romania, and he currently coaches in the DEL second league. So that's the second best professional league in Germany, and he's currently coaching there. So he's still on the go.
I mean, this guy might make it back to NHL as like an assistant coach or an associate coach. Yet, man, you don't know.
He could, yeah.
I mean, if he's gathering experience like that, a guy who's been around the block, he's played in all the different leagues. Man, this guy's checked into a lot of two-star hotels. You wouldn't believe it. I mean, this guy's the king of two-star hotels, man. He's bound to make his way up to the NHL eventually. He just doesn't stop, man. Playing career.
Yeah, if you think this guy's hockey DB is impressive, you should see his Yelp account.
Yeah, exactly. This guy's like a fucking admin on TripAdvisor or something. This dude's been everywhere.
Yeah, that's this is by far the most interesting news for the week so far, because usually we haven't had one yet that's been out of North America. So it's good to hear of one that went international.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man.
And also he played on Chicago, so fucking right, Chicago.
Yeah, and Minnesota, man. I'm gonna have to go on Google and type up a fucking picture of this guy in a Minnesota jersey. Maybe change my desktop background to it or something.
He played 4 games there, man. So if they took a picture of him during those 4 games, then you're in luck.
Well, I hope so. Well, I wouldn't. He was probably on the bench for most of it anyway. So unless I get a picture of the bench.
Oh, man.
Man, I'm a dick. I mean, this guy's way better hockey player than me, so I shouldn't be saying anything. Yeah, man, that was cool. Thanks for the information on Jason. I'm definitely going to look him up because I usually end up looking up these guys on Elite Prospects after we end the podcast. So thanks for that information, buddy.
No problem. It's always a pleasure.
Yes, man.
As always, Caleb, thanks for bringing the new for the week, and we'll catch you next week.
Until next time, boys.
All
Take
right,
it
bud.
easy.
Stay safe. See ya.